Well, here we are back with the third installment of the Scaled-Up Astronaut Minifigure by Lego Space. It's set number 40921, contains 793 pieces, retails for $59.99, and set was provided by the Lego Group for the review. Thank you, Lego. And yes, that's what we've done so far, which is just basically a torso with legs, no arms, no head, no tanks, nothing. It just sits there and looks pretty. And I've been pretty pleased with the build. It's been keeping my interest. I haven't had anything fall off. I'm not really too sure about how these, the wiggliness of these, but, there's only so much Lego can do. So, all around though, it's still at a 10, which is even better. And let me shed some more light on this. Okay, disclaimer. This is merely just my notes for review. These are not to be construed as professional product reviews, how-tos, or tutorials. Mainly, these are just my ideas, my rants, my vlogs, all that stuff. So everything that you hear me talk about on here is from my own mouth, my own imagination. Lego doesn't pay me to say anything. I just hit the record button and just go. So that's pretty much what I do here. So, in addition to all that, be sure to watch the video installment series all the way, because I may make mistakes here and there. It just happens from time to time. And I'm pretty much satisfied with this set, but, things may arouse. We don't know. Okay, well, let's begin with bag 5. Let's build it. And yeah, the disclaimers at the beginning. Hopefully this will cut down some of the confusion. I'm not trying to make it seem like it, but some people take this seriously. Almost every bag has got some of these smaller pieces. I was looking through the book. I didn't know if I want to do both arms or one at a time, and I'm thinking of, just for simplicity of the video, we're going to do one at a time. Okay. So, that having been said, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so that is where we are at. So, let's just do one arm at a time. Now, I could mirror them and just get them done in a hurry. But then how much of a hurry we're going to be anyways, I don't know. So, let's just do one at a time. And if you like the one at a time, let me know. Okay, because that tells me if you like them a little faster. Do you want me to slow it down a little bit? I don't know yet, But these are not meant for you to follow by any means, but I'm hoping to show every angle possible, so if you do get stuck on something, I'm going to try to attempt to help you out with it. And by the way, I need to put this as part of my regimen. I'm not a professional at this in any way, so getting advice from me, I would probably use it with a grain of salt. This is just a hobby of mine, so, and today is the 27th of February, 2026. So I was just on Google Maps, just looking for some places to go, even if it's just by myself. Get away from here would be fine. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. It's just kind of poking around the map here and seeing. I didn't even call the doctor yet or anything like that, so I just thought, I'll just get back in here and do a little bit of it, of this right now. I may just do it before I do the last installment series. But and I need to find out where my glasses are at so I can get back and drive in my car safely. And if I hear some excuse, well, we'll know about it in the 4th installment. Maybe I'll say that is the installment series for the last part. So right now I just kind of was working a little bit on some other stuff, wrapped up a deal. Yeah, pretty much that's what it is. I'm not sure what arm we're working on. We won't know until we put it on the thing. Now, Lego, I've seen you make these in 1x3 variants, so yeah, where are they at? Yeah, I think it's just better to break these down like that anyways. And then that takes care of this portion of the arm here. So this is like maybe the upper arm. Okay, I'm not sure what this one here is. Hopefully I'll let you guys and gals out early today because we're only going to be doing the arms and the oxygen tank. So, yeah. I need to go out and shop for some more parts. I get a lot of parts from the Ambassador Network in terms from sets, but as far as for actual parts that I need, I have to still place an order because some stuff from these sets is just, I'm looking for, let's say, maybe 50 of a piece, and that's not enough. Did something happen? Making sure I'm still recording. I heard the camera do something kind of goofy. I don't know what it was. But yeah, just kind of looking for something to do during the summer. Except I'm hearing why don't we stay at home? Okay, so you want us to do the same thing we're always doing. Except my girlfriend and I were talking about a camping trip, so that would be something fun to do to get us away from everything. That's what that is there. Not sure what part that does yet. We will find out eventually what this does. But I mean, just doing this type of stuff, this style of video, I was looking on YouTube to see if anybody had posted something like this. Not one person. Why? I don't know. But I hear it. I don't like hearing my own voice, you know. I mean, I never was used to hearing my own voice. Now I'm kind of used to it now, and it's just, yeah, I mean, it does get a little, you know, a little tiresome hearing myself talk all the time and doing videos. But, oh, that's the name of the game. Ooh, that just disintegrated. May have to start dinging this thing down a bit. Be careful with that. Thing's going to fly out of your hands. But I've been just trying to... Alright, where did that go? Oh, let's see it. But I've been trying just to get things done. My schedule is just still packed. And I did read a comment from one of you guys and gals said you miss my older style of videos. You miss me building houses. I do too. I miss doing the houses. This goes on there like that. But if you're on this channel, you absolutely know why I can't do the houses anymore, unfortunately. So it's not like I'm purposely saying I'm not doing any houses. I have a bunch of building plans. I have a bunch of ideas that I want to share. The problem is time. You know, that's the only issue is time, right? It's not like I don't have enough parts or anything. I have a lot of parts. I have a lot of ideas. It's that four-letter word. It's time, not work, but it's time. Okay, so this technically is the, this was the lower portion of the arm, and that was the upper portion. Okay, well now we know. And then this goes right here. Make sure you can see that. So just stick that cross axle in there. Boy, that feels kind of like I'm going to break that axle a bit. Yeah, so we got the one-armed man. Okay, now we got to work on the other arm. So now we know what we're doing here. I don't see any parts for hands yet, but this is a spaceman, so I don't think he's going to have bare skin running around out in space. So, but as far as for tutorials go, I just have a truckload of ideas. Sometimes I'm building idea A and it turns out to be B. Okay, so sometimes in one tutorial I can come up with 3 or 4 alternative builds, and those are tutorials. You see what I mean? It adds up real quick. So my intention is to film whatever I can and get them delivered to you. I think that might be the best way of doing it. But my goal eventually is to, you know, give you a really good build experience on putting things together. You know, even if it's a set build, this is something right here. Like we just got done with the torso. But I don't know if Would this be a group build? I'm going to say probably not. And I'm trying not to yawn in your ear here. So it's just a matter of... Okay, let me start pulling these. Oh, I'm just butterfingers today, huh? But I'm just trying to get things done here. And I got a bunch of reviews. I have a bunch of personal chores I got to deal with. I have a truckload of stuff. I'm really in February. And, you know, I just wish I could get to all the bigger builds. I wish I can get to all the cool things. And I know some of you out there, well, most of you are pretty patient about it. You're like, oh, Jay, I mean, I'm no big hurry. You're always going to be here. I'm here for right now, but I want to get to the fun stuff. And, you know, you've heard me use this expression, you know, you got to have your vegetables before dessert. Well, essentially, that's what it is. I got to have my vegetables. After a while, I'm tired of eating yucky vegetables. I want something yummy for a change. And I'm kind of getting burned out of doing somebody else's ideas. You know, it's like building a Lego set. And I know some people, that like sets. I know a friend that likes he doesn't build really any customs. He does sets. You know, he wants the official thing or nothing else. Well, for me, I'm an artist. I want to build my own items, you know, instead of being, okay, here's a set amount of parts, here's a building guide, we start building. Trying to find a 1x2 plate that I cannot find. So where'd it go? Well, let's see here. Not in the hands. I remember seeing it when I was going through stuff. We have the white ones here, but we don't need that until later. I could have used it in there by accident. So let's start pulling out parts here. If I can't find it, I'm going to have to go in my own collection. That's a very common part. That's the only bad thing about when you're building from a set. You know, let me take this off here and let me look in there. Looks like it's buried in there. I don't see a blue plate at all in here. All right, so let me go in my collection. Let me grab one real quick, and we'll continue on. So, yeah, if I have one extra, then that's probably my fault here. So we needed this piece. Oh, I don't need that piece. Never mind, just wasted your time. My bad. I am so sorry. I was like, wait, what am I doing? I mean, sometimes it's just like that. I'm still worked up from all the drama that I had earlier today, so I'm trying to, you know, unwind and stuff. Just kind of loosen myself up a bit. So I don't need that. So yeah, we're still not missing parts, and that piece right there is done. Okay, so for the upper arm and shoulder, well, upper arm piece, let's get on to that. Yeah, at least Lego kept with the same colors that we normally would build back in the day. So I'm really kind of happy with this. This is nostalgia here. For anybody who's got sets like this, this is nostalgia here. So when I do the review, I am going to mention that. Like, okay, we were using a lot of the old school colors. All right, so they kept this one true all the way down to the interior colors. And yeah, this one is, except for the part styles, the colors are period correct with this set. Like, literally. So, you know, a lot of people are going in depth on how fast they can speed build these. You know, here we're doing the whole entire shebang here. And I know some people just probably don't care. That's fine, you know. But I've been kind of just seeing what we have here. I want to get back into that Persona 5 game. But I gotta do this one first, right? I can't play video games. I can't have my after this, I gotta make some phone calls. It seems like everybody takes off these 5-hour lunch breaks. It's like, I have to take, I knew somebody that literally took off 5 hours for lunch break. He worked 8 hours a day, so what do you do with the other 3? We don't know. We don't know what he did. He kept taking off for lunch breaks. He didn't work for me because I have some employees who literally work through their lunch break. They've asked, Jay, what if I work through my lunch break? You get your work done before 5 o'clock, you get to go home early. I have some that literally sit there with like a cup of noodles or something like that, just sitting in front of the computer, just chowing down, you know, getting things done. They want to go home to their families. They don't want to sit at work. I don't blame them, you know. That kind of thing. And that takes care of the upper shoulder there. And this one goes right here. Okay. Just wiggle that in there. There we go. It feels a little stiff, but remember it's those gears. Now, I would think a friction pin would have been fine, but yeah, so far, yeah, we got a couple of stubs there. We got to fix that. Okay, now it looks like we're turning our attention to the hands, and those are easy. We just got to build 2 of them. So now let's get into that. And yeah, you know, sets like this though are just fun little sets to put together with the family. Okay, so if you're looking for something to do with the kids, unfortunately this is like a solo build. I'm going to say just one person. I mean, you could build all this stuff and attach the arms last. That's up to you. I mean, it's your set, totally your call. Forgot to put these in here. But, you know, hey, you know, that's just how it is. But I've been to, oh, I hear somebody's up. I hear the news at full blast. That's why I watch anime. I never thought a day I'd ever sit there and just be addicted to anime, but no, I'm actually watching that stuff more and more. It takes me away from the boring news and daily life. May make that my hobby. I may just do anime reviews. Don't worry, I'm not going to do that. I should, though, and just embarrass myself, but nah. We don't want to get into one of those disputes like, no, Jay, you don't see the concept of this cartoon. I mean, this anime. You don't understand what the character's saying. Well, this is how I see it. Especially what's his name in there, Subaru. Always sacrificing himself. We don't know. Still on that ReZero. I'm going to try to finish up season 1 today. But I want to get done with some of the filming first. Okay, and then we got to put these here. The best thing is to use your finger and just put that there and put that right on that joint there. Okay, so yeah, this short piece is supposed to be here. So did I do that there? Yes, I did. So we're good. And that takes care of the hands. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. And this is what we have remaining here for bag 5. Now we're going to pop the hands on here. And it looks like the notch part goes at the bottom. So just stick that right in there. Now if you want, you could build this any color you want. They pretty much give you all the essential pieces to do it, to make any one of these you want. And yeah, the hands do move. These rotate, especially when I put mine upside down. You know, I used to do it back in the older videos. But yeah, so far, it's looking good. Okay, we are going to wrap up with bag 6, and I want to thank everyone on Patreon and on my YouTube memberships for being contributors. It's always a big help, because that'll help me fund for time to take off and do this more full time with less rants, because there'll be no more work to complain about. I want to thank everyone for checking out my Rebrickable profile and downloading my building guides. It's always a big help. And yes, those are the same building guides I use. I have to preserve my ideas for future reference. Those are not just for you, they're also for me. I have to follow my own work too. And most importantly, for those who are brave enough to stick it out with me, thank you kindly for subscribing. It's free. You don't have to worry about that. I don't charge for that. And you can just sit back and have some fun. And yeah, I was looking for these for a tutorial. What tutorial? Stay tuned on my main channel for that one. They may or may not be that color. So these are obviously for the oxygen tank. Let's put these over here because those are big and bulk items. And I don't want to be tripping over that. Okay, so right now I am looking for some plates like that. Alrighty, not that though. So yeah, it looks like, yeah, we're building the oxygen tanks now. Let's see if we can breeze through this one. Yeah, so as far as for doing my little sig fig here in the corner, or the animated figure, you know, it's going to take some time. It's just I got to get some time off to really work on the software stuff for it. There's free and paid. Do I want to go 2D? Do I want to go 3D? 3D software is free. 2D you got to pay for some unknown reason. So, like, I won't mention what software I'm going to be using. I do talk about Blender because it is open source. So free open source stuff I will talk about. Paid or licensed software that I got to pay for or pay to remove watermarks from, I don't mention that in here because that requires to be a paid item. They'd have to pay for advertising. Yeah, so that's why I don't do that. That doesn't go like that. It goes like that, Jay. Come on, pay attention, dude. Yeah, but I mean, this set so far, it's not boring. I mean, I just wasn't sure about it, all right? And that's what I tell people. You know, my opinions on these videos are just that. They're my opinions, all right? I don't know how the set's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be interesting. I don't know if this is something I'm going to enjoy or am I just going to be bored out of my mind. Well, so far, I'm not bored out of my mind. So we're going pretty smooth here. It's a quick build, actually. It's not boring. It's not dry. This is one that I really want to put together now. That's how you know. It looks like a little butterfly or a bow tie. All right, so we got that done. And then now I got to put some more bricks on the top. This is probably the top or the bottom of the tanks. Obviously, we don't know. This might fit inside. We have no clue yet. But Lego has stuck true to their word on this one here. And I'm just going to, like I said, I'm not trying to make these sound all depressing and stuff. But sometimes I'll get sets that are just boring. And this one here is not that boring. I'm actually enjoying this one here. So for those out there who are my haters, sorry. Don't mean to disappoint you. But I got to have fun doing these. Could be, I could be worse. I could be doing speed builds, and you will have to sit there and listen to piano music. No, we don't do that here. We are going to build, and we are going to enjoy the set. Oh, wait a minute. No, 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 no. It goes like that. With gaps there. Okay. All right. Read, 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 read. Okay. Yep. Gotta make 2 of these. Put these in here. But I mean, it's a nice little build. If you're like into Lego space, a lot of us grew up in the 80s. We had a lot of the space stuff, so yeah. Why didn't Lego have these type of sets when we were kids? We don't know. We have no clue. That's why, if you look, a lot of adults get into this hobby. Because a lot of us in my age range, our parents didn't have money. You know, couldn't get all this awesome stuff. So now what do? We just enjoy the builds now, because a lot of us, we have careers, we have full-time jobs. We want to, when we're done with work, we want to just sit back and build and just not think about anything. I don't blame you, so that's what we do here. if you're a kid watching this, yeah, there's guys out there who have families that do this stuff, you know. I'm one of them. But, you know, this type of stuff is just fun to put together. You know, it's not for kids anymore. Well, we're missing some stuff there, huh? We got a couple of holes back there. That's what these are for. And I don't really use these for anything. What would you use them for? I don't know, but they're smooth on this side. Maybe a fan blade or a vent. Use those for my air conditioned vents to direct the airflow. I don't know. Just what I see the part being used for. Get enough of them, you can make those sturdy. You can use them to make a squirrel cage for a fan. All right. So yeah, this is the part that attaches to the back of the torso. But I'm always glad you guys and gals get to join me here. We get to build together. We get to enjoy the set. And it's just something we can do together here. Just like Chippy Chai had mentioned, that this is more like building with a friend. And that's essentially what this is you know, here's the deal. I don't trash talk anybody. I don't knock you down. If you build it wrong, who cares? You know, that kind of thing. Building with friends, that's all it is. If you say, hey Jay, I made a mistake, I built it wrong, well, we built it wrong together, right? Okay, that kind of thing. So this one here, I thought, oh, we're gonna have to spend a lot of time. I have a feeling we're gonna get hit hard with the head here. And I only got 14 minutes on this memory card, so we're making good time on this set. Usually I get about 500 pieces, but if I'm thinking this one's going to be pretty close, which means I could probably do another video after this. I don't know yet. I got to get some other stuff edited, so it just depends. The next set I have to edit, you know, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what I have to do still here. Boy, I tell you, back in the 80s, though, we didn't have these type of parts where you can make pretty much finished off models. But Lego now is a lot more serious than when I was a kid. I'm just going to shove those in there. You know why? Because I'm going to jump to the next page and just do that. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. See, I mean, here's the deal. I just don't say my way's the right way to build your set. Oh, wait a minute, I made a mistake. Maybe I shouldn't have jumped to conclusions here, because I'm going to have to pull this out. And that's the only problem about when you finish off your builds. You can't get pieces out. So how do you get this out of here? This brick separator is practically useless. How do you get something like that out of here? If you got really good fingernails, you might be able to shove that in there and pop it out. But what if you're like me and you can't get that out? Well, you're just going to have to, well, I can't get that off with this in the way. Alright, well, I got myself in a pickle. How do I get that off there? Okay. Okay, I didn't want to have to get a razor knife out. At first, I thought we were shoving those in there. No, you shove a little cheese slope in there like that. So they, you know, hey, you know, I wonder how many people are going to cuss me out on that one. I noticed I've been getting a few people complaining about that. I'm like, yeah, just watch the video all the way through. You know, just relax, you know. And that takes, oh, where are you going there? We're almost done with the tanks, too. It's just, I've been making a lot of mistakes here. And then there's some tiles that go on the back of this here. Finish that up. Okay, yes, there's sunlight coming in through here, and now we got to do the last part that goes around the torso, which I think that's what this here is supposed to simulate. Don't try to grab your oxygen tank. That's how accidents happen. Alright. I did read one of the comments on my main channel. One of you were hoarding up parts for a, you know, those 1x1 by 2/3. They're like this, but they have a stud on the side. Yeah, somebody told me they were hoarding those up. Well, don't blame you. That piece might be coming in handy, and hoard them. If you think it's a part you're going to use, hoard them. Because sometimes I'll regret it and never buy a certain part, and I'm like, it'll still be there in the store. I'm not too worried about it. Come back later and it's not there anymore. I'm like, well, I kicked myself in the rear for that. But I only have myself to blame, so I missed out on a part that I needed. Means I just got to go hit through a another site to go get them. And after I get done with this, I got to see if these doctors are done on their 4-hour lunch break. Now, I work through my lunch breaks as I want to hurry up and get home. I've had some that complain that I make them work too long. I said, dude, you're taking a 2-hour lunch break. You don't need to take them that long. Well, I need to have my lunch break. Well, I need to too, but I want to hurry up and get home. You know. Okay, am I doing something wrong? Or am I putting that on the wrong way? I'm putting it on the wrong way, and this piece is facing the wrong way too. So it's got to look like that. And then it goes on there, and now it looks pretty good. Okay, and that's what we have remaining for bag 6. Put this on here. Now we got a plug-in attachment. So yeah, looks like it just goes right there. Oh yeah, so if that all lines up, we are good to go, because it looks like that little hook that you'd see in real life. And let's just do this here. We got the brick separator, put that back in there. Oh, I forgot this piece to show you. I forgot that too. Okay, summation of thoughts, and so far it's looking pretty good. We got our oxygen tanks on, we got hands. Well, we got a little bit of a problem here. I mean, we're missing something. Doesn't have his personality and his imagination and stuff because we don't have the head. How is he going to communicate with us? You know, I mean, he could do sign language, but you still got to have facial expressions to do those, so it's kind of pointless. He can't do nothing yet, but he could sit and wave. But honestly, so far it's not bad. So it looks like bag 7 does this. And what does bag 8 do? 7 does the helmet. Well, there's only there's 8 bags, and what does the last bag do? Did I skip something? See, here's bag 7. Don't try to rip my book. Being difficult. Just imagine my figure in there doing that. So yeah, the helmet is split up into 2 bags. Well, yeah, but honestly though, I'm going to say right now the joints feel a little, I mean, I'm going to say build quality on this is more or less just average. I was hoping these be a little more stiffer. The joints are stiff, but they just feel kind of sloppy. I'm going to say probably a 9 to 9.5 so far. I haven't made up my mind yet. But it's looking good. Very good. Well, tell me what you think so far.